it's main event time, or shall I say main course time. It's the ballpark food draft. First time ever doing it. And I got to shout out my guy, Tom, for coming up with this idea. So Thomas, take it away. What is the ballpark food draft entail for tonight's episode 89?
Well, first, I don't want to claim that I invented doing a draft on a podcast. It's something I'm sure a lot of podcasts you listen to do it, but we wanted to do one that's very baseball centric. We did made it a lineup of all time New York players in the before the season started, but we thought this could be fun during the season. So what we will be doing with the 4 hosts here, we will be drafting in 5 different categories. Now, you don't have to go in any specific order, so you have the ability to choose any order that you want. The 5 categories that we will be drafting. The first, again, not in no particular order, is a main dish item. We have some picture on the screen of what that might entail. Next is a side or a snack. We have a late inning dessert option, and then we have 2 beverages. One, a non-alcoholic, a refreshment beverage, and then our last category is an alcoholic beverage. Now, what's going to be interesting with some of these items is some of them are a little bit of like Mookie Betts. They have a lot of position versatility. So if someone wants to draft something that is not in a category that maybe not everyone thinks it will be in, if Rich tries to sneak something past the rest of us, Corey, Joe, and I will discuss. And if he gets a 2 out of 3 majority, thumbs up, he can put it in that position. So that is something to keep in mind.
Well, Tom, you're telling me I have a chance to make popcorn an entree if I really wanted to?
That would be, listen, you'd have to really state a case. I think popcorn is an option that could maybe be a side or a snack or dessert. I think that was one of the ones I was thinking of that has some versatility there.
One for each category.
But yeah, there's definitely some options there. Now, also, we will be drafting more generalized items here. We're not going to be getting too specific. Now, when someone picks something, let's say, for example, soda. If a soda will get picked at some point in this draft. Let's say Rich picks soda, and he says, "Listen, I want a Diet Coke. A Diet Coke at a ballpark is something to be treasured." Rich has soda. He's talking about Diet Coke as his kind of his specific player, but then soda's off the board. Corey then can't take Sprite. I can't then take a Dr. Pepper. Soda is then off the board, and that'll be the same for other categories. That you'll see as we kind of go down here. So again, you don't have to pick something specific. Call an actual item out. You don't have to say you're taking the Dodger dog, but if you want to talk about the Dodger dog, we draft the hot dog. That's definitely something we encourage here. Lastly, the order we're going to be drafting in is the order in which we currently are in our game segment standings. So I will be taking the first pick. Corey will be taking the second pick. Joe will be taking the third pick. Rich will have the fourth, and then we will snake back. So Rich will have the fifth, Joe 6, Corey 7, me 8, and then so on and so forth. You all know what a snake draft is. You all probably have seen these types of drafts in other podcasts you listen to. We want to give it a shot here. Boys, any questions?
No.
Let's have some fun.
I'm ready to roll.
Some fun. And
I'm getting hungry thinking about this.
I'm going to be so hungry. Yeah, that's what I say. I'm about to do like a Wendy's run right after this.
And listen, you don't necessarily have to build. If you want to look at it as building an experience, like, hey, these are the 5 things that I'm getting. They don't necessarily have to be. So your side doesn't have to always play well with your main. But listen, there are some sides and mains that play well together.
Whoa! 7-0 Mets.
Second inning, 7-0.
EJ Stewart with 3-run homer.
Plenty of time.
Tom, when we go with rules, can we have some fun here?
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Thomas, you have the first pick in the ballpark food draft.
I do. And I've been thinking about this, and I think there is what's also important we have to consider here is scarcity of positioning and of talent and such in each.
Can you make a damn pick?
Here. No, because I'm going to talk about it. I've been in discussion with this player. For a week now or so as we figured out number 1 pick, and I am taking a frosty ice cold beer as my number 1 selection. If I'm going to get specific, I want to, as someone who enjoys a good craft, a stout or a sour. If I'm at a baseball game, give me a nice crispy light beer. I want a souvenir cup, and I want it to be a draft. If I'm getting specific there,
you order a sour beer in a 90-degree bowl game. You should
it would be very refreshing. You give me a nice like Ghost at a baseball game would be delightful. But listen, give me your Bud Light, give me a Coors Light, give me a Miller Light. I want it in a souvenir draft. Number one pick is beer. I'm very happy to have beer on my team.
I did a mock draft earlier and it fell to 4.
Man,
go ahead, Corey.
No, he wasn't getting to 4 because beer was on my list, and I'll drink to the beer.
I disagree with your
nothing beats an ice cold Bud at the game.
I agree. There's something about the ballpark where a $12 beer is like, wow, what a bargain.
Oh, but $14.50, please.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? For my number one pick, and again, this is a position that is a little deep on depth, but I thought it was going to go number 1. I will gladly take it in number 2 spot. I still would have went beer if it was available. But I'll go with the chicken tender bucket. I just think it's the goat.
But listen now. That's now we're at committee here because I think French fries are a side. So are you committee? Do we allow Corey to take a chicken tender bucket?
Fingers.
I think he just gets the tendies.
It's only the tendies.
Only the tendies.
Now listen, you can match it up with the fries later if you want, but
I'll still roll with I'm still rolling with the tenders. I think there's so many different ways you can get them too. You go with the buckets. I've had like the spicy tenders. I've had Asian tenders. There's so many routes to go. So many different stadiums. I'm rolling with the tendies. I'm sorry. I'm rolling with the tendies. I would say 60 to 70% of the time I go to a ballpark, tendies ends up being my main meal, and in different ways, in different
Corey,
styles.
Your millennial is showing.
For a while.
I'm doing it.
We're gonna be here for a while. I'm definitely gonna get hungry after this is all said and done. Joe, go ahead.
All right, number 3 pick. Tom stole my pick. I got plenty of options otherwhere. I am going with a nice Coke soda. That's it. A Coke or a Pepsi. There's nothing better than an ice cold soda, especially in the 7th or 8th inning when they can't sell you another beer. You need a nice soda, a nice caffeine while you're sitting on the BQE for 4 freaking hours after a game.
Depends where you are, Joe.
Going to save you. I am going with a nice ice cold jumbo Coke. That's the number 3 pick.
You know what? I respect you looking at the big board and seeing it's a thin category, and I think I respect you. I respect you doing that a lot.
All right, so this is a tough one, but you know what? The best part about my draft right now is I got 2 picks back to back. You could
do something very special here.
The fact that Hot Dog hasn't gone in the top 3 spots is crazy to me, so I'm taking it. This is my Mickey Mantle center field pick back in February, and I'm doing it now with the Hot Dog. I'm taking the Hot Dog as my entree.
It's a cornerstone franchise player is the Hot Dog.
And you know what? I also have to go with again, I have to look at the thin categories as well here. I'm going to go with the bottled water for the refreshment on a hot summer day. I think I need the bottled water more than I need the lemonade or the iced tea. Definitely not going with the coffee, I'll tell you that much. And I don't know what else you guys had in mind outside of what we have pictured. But I'm going with a hot dog and a water. Real Joey Chestnut right now with my next 2 picks. No, not anymore. But yeah, not anymore. All right, go ahead, Joe.
All right, so I'm crossed here because we're starting to thin out the entrees. The best 2 entrees are gone. So I feel like there's one more entree and then there's a steep drop off. I think I got to go with a nice American cheeseburger.
That's fair.
Nothing in this world better than a cheeseburger and a soda. And I got the combination that made McDonald's billions and trillions of dollars. A burger and a soda.
I am smitten right now.
That's America right there. A burger and a soda.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, ballpark burgers tend to not be great. Let's be honest.
Well,
I mean,
again,
if you go for a big
better
one,
than
you
ballpark pizza.
well, listen, I'll be honest. So now all of you have taken your main items, and I think the number 2 main is still on the board, and I will be loving to take it in the 5th round. I appreciate what you guys have done.
Corey, go ahead.
Corey.
Hey, well, I'm going to take a trip over to the dessert, and it's a specific dessert that I haven't had in a while, but it is an absolute staple. If you're a kid, there's nothing better than it, and it is the soft serve in a ball cap. That's it. I want the helmet ice.
I was considering that too.
Yep. I haven't had it in so long. Typically, I'll just get the regular cup now because I don't need any more helmets. But as a kid, as a first timer at a ballpark, you want that helmet.
All right. Our first dessert is off the board.
Oh, boy.
So, Thomas, you have back-to-back picks here, sir.
I do.
We're moving, baby.
Okay. We're moving. All right, listen. I think a real steal in this draft and another thin category I want to just get out of the way because I don't know if Corey's going to take it on the way back. I'm taking for my non-alcoholic beverage. I am taking the lemonade, and I'm talking about the fresh. When they get the lemonade, where they cut half the lemon in there, they put like an entire scoop of sugar in, and then a little bit of water. That is unbeatable at a baseball game. Unbeatable at a fair, a boardwalk. Give me a lemonade.
Okay.
Give me a lemonade.
Then I need a water to after you drink that and a hot summer.
I have a nice cold beer, so I'm good there. Now, now that the real question is, God, I feel like the side and snack category is so much there's so many good players. It's deep. There's so many things you could do there, and you know what? I'm gonna go because I believe in my scouting process of what I've been doing on my big board. I'm gonna leave side and snack, and I can get value there later. For my sweet, my treat category, it's not on the board here. I'm gonna take the funnel cake. The funnel cake at a baseball game.
Oh wow, okay,
is incredible.
That's a pretty good one.
You get the powdered sugar on there, maybe a little bit of fruit if you're feeling fancy. But I'm gonna take a funnel cake in my category.
I've never seen funnel cake consumed at a baseball game.
Funnel cake was a staple at the Trenton Thunder when I worked at the Trenton Thunder. Funnel cake is a quality dessert. Little messy.
I feel like
listen,
you're popular at minor league parks than it is at the major league parks.
Chris Caleb here. Hey, my guy says Joe is building a solid team. Sabine, 100% soft serve, definitely. And Matt Chooch, perfect day at Yankee Stadium Food Day. Local steak sandwich, garlic fries, cold Miller Light. Ooh,
I would have taken that. Corey, I wish you didn't take ice cream. If you didn't take ice cream, that would have been. I think I'd be game over. But
I had to go for dessert.
Corey.
Yeah, I'm going to go now back to the alcoholic beverage side. I think only beer is off the board at this point. So you know what? I want a nice cold, refreshing beverage. I can't get the lemonade, but I'll do the frozen lemonade. Give me the frozen cocktail, whether it's a lemonade, a margarita, especially if you get that hot day. Sometimes that frozen beverage just hits the spot, nice and cold. Maybe get a little brain freeze on a 90-degree day. So I'm going to change it up a little bit and go the frozen cocktail.
A lot of cold.
So you're just saying cocktail is off the board with that pick, I would say.
Well, I would say frozen cocktail. I guess if you want to get creative, I think you can get maybe some ways around that. But
frozen cocktail.
That's a
I think a frozen margarita, a frozen
margarita.
A lemonade with alcohol is basically a margarita. So I would say frozen margarita is what you were taking here.
Basically.
Okay. All right. Am I up?
Yes, you are.
All right. I'm gonna complete the trio right now. I'm building the all-American roster, baby.
Yeah.
This is Team USA. We are taking the popcorn. That's what we're taking. We're taking the popcorn. The popcorn is the GOAT snack. It is the entertainment snack. There is nothing more you want to do when you're being entertained than shovel handfuls of popcorn down your face.
Okay, so
Joe, I need to ask: is this your side snack or late inning dessert? Because I think they could flip as both.
I do think this has some versatility where you want to.
It does have some versatility. This is going to be my late inning dessert.
All right.
Your late inning dessert.
Okay. This is 7th inning. I finished my alcohol. I got my soda. It's a little sugary. I want the saltiness to complement the sugar. Let's go with the popcorn. Popcorn, burger, soda. That's as American as it gets.
All right. So I have the 12 and 13th pick here. We're moving through this pretty quickly here. It definitely picked up after that first round, let's say the least. So I have an entree and a refreshment picked so far. So with my hot dog, we're gonna go here with the side. You know what? We gotta throw in the French fries here. I'm going with
that's where I thought Joe was going. I thought Joe was able to do a 3-headed monster of a soda, a burger, and fries, could have been an unbeatable. And I think it's just an all-time blunder by Mr. Pugliese with that selection. Good.
So
good
I got the fries at the side. So I got my entree, I got my side, I have my refreshment here. You know what? I think I can get away with a decent late inning dessert, so I'm gonna go alcohol here. I'm gonna go new age. I'm gonna go with the vodka seltzer. Specifically, I'm gonna go with a high noon. I like the high noons out of all the different vodka seltzers that are out there. It's in a can. It's convenient. I don't have to worry about spilling it so much if I knock it over. I'm going with the vodka seltzer. Specifically, we'll just say the alcoholic seltzer for my beverage pick there at the back end. Joe, go for it.
Good pick. It's a good pick.
All right. You took the fries, but I had two choices there. I feel like tater tots to some people aren't as good of a choice as fries. So I'm going to go with the tater tots. Why? They're simple. They're easy. They're not messy. They're going to pair well with the burger. The tater tots, baby. That's a burger and tater tots. That's a great meal at the ball game.
Did I have that for lunch yesterday at the golf course? I did. But we're not drafting golf course food. We're drafting baseball food. And I don't know, man. I think you're...
I'll tell you what, guys, as I'm looking at it, before Corey makes his next pick, there's going to be a side left off that's going to like scratch your head at the end of this draft. I'm going to put it to you that way. But Corey Favs, go for it.
Yeah.
I wanted the tots. I specifically had the tater kegs at Citi Field in my mind, loaded with cheese. Oh, they're phenomenal. But
yeah, have fun running to the bathroom after a couple of those.
That's true too. But let's see. I need a side or snack, and I also need a refreshment beverage. I'm going to hold off on the refreshment for my last pick. So thinking ahead at the side orders. And you know what? I'll go with the nachos. Again, a little messy, opposite of what Joe said about not being messy. I'm going to go with the messy one. But I'll tell you what, with the nachos too. Again, this is the same type of thing that you go to a lot of different stadiums. They do it different ways. Especially you get a lot of those like Tex-Mex style nachos. So I'm going to go with the nachos as my snack, as a nice pregame to the tater tots.
Wow.
There you go. All righty. So, Thomas, this is it for you. Last two picks. You're still missing a side, and you're missing an entree, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, let's hear it.
Yeah. So I'll start with my main. Because I think this plays it is great. It is actually it's an improvement over one of your of a similar selection made. Give me the sausage sandwich. Give me some peppers and onions on the sausage. You go brat, all those types of options. It's better. It's a hot dog, but better. It's basically what a sausage is. I was thinking maybe cheesesteak. Cheesesteak was an option in my head. Ballpark pizza, never considered that. I'd probably rather die than eat pizza at a ballpark. But a sausage sandwich is fantastic.
If you're
give me that.
The age of 7, you should not have pizza at the ballpark. Like let's be realistic. If
I don't disagree.
At the ballpark, you might be a sociopath.
Here's my issue now. So I got my side and my snack. Now there are how many sides have been taken so far? Side snacks.
Well, the fries are off the board. The tots are off the board. The nachos are off the board.
So man, and I don't think either of these. I can bring them up later. Neither of these would qualify as late inning dessert either. But one of them is more food than other. I will take. You give me. In the first inning, a bag of peanuts, and I could just nosh on those peanuts for innings. You just sit there. It's a little activity. You're breaking a peanut open. You're eating a peanut. You could do it. You could do it all game. It becomes an activity along with what you're eating. It's a classic snack that really could just bring oodles and oodles of fun. Give me peanuts.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Nothing says it.
Man, I can't believe.
Yeah, that's a fair
All
pick.
right, Corey Favs.
All right, well,
I think all you have left is refreshment.
Basic refreshment here. There's really not much left, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge coffee guy. I love to grind my own beans, but I don't think I've ever gotten a coffee at a ballpark. So I'm gonna go with iced tea. You know what? Yeah, that's fine. Give me an Arizona iced tea. Give me some sort of local iced tea. I'll gladly take iced tea in the last round. Not the flashiest pick, but I will enjoy it when I have it.
All right, Joe. I think all you're missing is an alcoholic beverage.
All right. So I'm going to go with the classic mixed cocktail. It's going to cost you, it's going to run you $25 for a nice Jack and Coke or a Seagram's and 7. It's going to cost you. But with the fact that I'm already going to be having a soda after the fact, my palate doesn't have to change. So I go for the Jack and Coke early with the burger, and then I go for the regular Coke late with the popcorn. My palate's complete. I'm not
all that sugar.
Palate flavors, I have it straight through. And what's more American than a Kentucky bourbon, baby, with some soda? The complete American baseball experience brought to you by yours truly.
Wow.
I don't know.
What a lineup. What a lineup. Now, I have the final pick, and for me, it is the dessert. I have the hot dog. I have the side of French fries. I have the water. I have the vodka seltzer. Not a bad lineup at all here. I look at that late inning dessert, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. Maybe one of these can flip into the dessert category. Could I draft Cracker Jacks as my dessert?
I think that's fair.
If dessert, Cracker Jacks can be dessert.
I agree.
I would say, and they're sweet. It's essentially it's caramel corn. And yeah, I would. I would say I thought you were actually going to go try to get pretzel in as a dessert.
No, I don't. I wouldn't qualify that as dessert.
I wouldn't either. But I'm just
hot pretzel. I wouldn't say that would be. But at Cracker Jacks, I think because the popcorn's in that category, I'd say Cracker Jacks would flip there. I would even say probably peanuts would probably flip there too if peanuts are still on the board. But I'm going with Cracker Jacks as my final pick, and that is a ballpark food draft. So let's read those lineups one more time. All right. So for Tom with our first pick took cold beer as his alcoholic. Actually, I'll read it as the way we had it presented. So for an entree, you had sausages and peppers. For a side, you had peanuts. For a refreshment, lemonade. As a dessert, you had funnel cake. Crazy. As a refreshment, lemonade. And for alcohol, a basic cold beer was the number one pick, which I think was a quality pick at that number one. Corey, for his entree, he had the chicken tenders, no fries. He had for a side, he had the nachos, maybe in the nacho helmet. That'd be cool. For the dessert, he had the ice cream in the helmet, so maybe you don't need two helmets, I guess. For the refreshment, he had iced tea. For the alcohol, he had a frozen cocktail / margarita. All right. For Joe, his entree is a cheeseburger. His side was tater tots. His dessert, he had popcorn, refreshment soda, and his alcoholic beverage was a mixed cocktail. And for me, the entree I had was hot dog with a side of French fries. My late inning dessert is Cracker Jacks, a refreshment of water, and a vodka seltzer as my alcoholic beverage. So there you have it. And what we're going to do over the next couple of days on X, on Instagram, we're going to post the results of these drafts. And it's going to be up to you, our audience here, our followers on YouTube and Instagram and X, to vote on which lineup of food is the best. Which ballpark itinerary are you going with when it comes to entrees and sides, desserts, alcohol, refreshments? I mean, we have 4 all-star lineups here of food and drinks. And that was a whole lot of fun.
I got a question, guys. Did anyone consider seeds? Because I really wanted to draft seeds. But there's not also like I guess they're technically food, but like
as a
seeds at a baseball game is that's pretty
like
unbeatable
when you're playing baseball. In my opinion, like if I'm at the game, I can't spit them out like I do on the field. You know what I mean? Like you gotta worry about the guy scratching his crack in front of you, and you got to see
one down there.
Like, you can't do that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so I mean, other misses here. When you were talking about the coffee, listen now, not to I guess make fun of our Mets fans here, but when you go to baseball games, maybe in October, it gets a little chilly at night. A nice hot chocolate or a hot coffee is delightful. Mains I had about pretzel not going drafted. Interesting. Cotton candy. I hate cotton candy. I'm happy it didn't go. Honestly, cotton candy is like a locker room cancer would destroy your roster.
I don't like a glazed late round pick.
How about like a glazed donut?
When have you ever had a glazed donut at a baseball game?
City Fields had them on occasion.
Yeah, and despite my trip to Napa Valley, I didn't go with a glass of wine. Trust me, I did not go with a glass of wine. I had a damn baseball.
What Zeppelis? Have you ever had Zeppelis at a game?
Not at a game. That's why I'm getting my funnel cake. It's the same thing, just in different form. I can't believe you guys never had a funnel cake at a baseball game. Maybe it is more minor league.
I've never seen it. I just never.
I think it's a minor league.
Maybe it's more minor league. I associate maybe because I spent so much time in Trenton at the Trenton Thunder. Like
Somerset Patriots have a funnel cake.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, actually.
I feel like funnel cakes are also very Jersey, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a Northeast.
Thought about the churro, but like, I don't know what if I think I've had a churro like in California at a baseball game and a Dodger game, but that's about it. So,
well, that was a lot of fun. So stay tuned on our social platforms.
I have
the results.
A Chipwich.
Like
a Chipwich ice cream set. That would have been a sleeper. That would have been a great dessert.
Could have played.
Yeah. Rich is thinking about it now.
No. But we already picked the ice cream as
ice cream in a helmet is not a Chipwich.
I think it'd have been an interesting conversation.
We would have had a vote on that one.
Yeah. I guess it would have been in the borderline where we did